They say even the brightest stars burn secrets behind their glow. But if you stand close enough to Cristiano Ronaldo's perfect life, you might smell the smoke. Some say his goals made him immortal, but the shadows he's kept inside his mansion could burn that immortality to ashes. Because tonight, as the world sleeps, a question no one dares to ask slips through the marble halls of his empire. Are the children who call him father really born from the woman who calls herself their mother? When Georgina first stepped into Ronaldo's life, she was nothing more than a salesgirl folding luxury dresses for the rich and famous. No crown, no throne, just hungry eyes, watching a man who had everything yet seemed to want more. What started as late-night dinners and stolen kisses turned into a carefully curated family image, the ultimate fairy tale for social media. But the truth behind those Instagram smiles? That's where the poison lives. Cristiano Ronaldo Jr. came long before Georgina, that, the world knows. But the moment she slipped her hand into Ronaldo's, people began to wonder, who really holds the keys to these children's lives? Junior's mother remains faceless, hidden under contracts, and secrecy tighter than any football contract Ronaldo ever signed. Whispers in corridors claim she was paid off, silenced forever. Some insiders say Georgina hates this unspoken ghost, a woman she can never erase but must accept. Every time Junior calls her mama for the cameras. But the story turns darker when you see the twins, Eva and Matteo, born through surrogacy, far from Georgina's womb, yet raised in her arms. The world clapped for Ronaldo's devotion, the man who wanted more children to carry his name, but no one asked why Georgina wasn't the one who gave birth to them. Was it choice? Was it contract? Or was it something far colder than love, a plan to protect an empire from complications of messy relationships? People close to the family say Georgina wears her crown like a mask. Behind every staged family vacation, behind the million-dollar yacht trips, a silent war brews between reality and the fairy tale she's built with Ronaldo. Some nights, when the curtains fall and the flashbulbs die, Ronaldo is said to stare at his children, and at Georgina, wondering if bloodlines really mean loyalty, or if his empire sits on a throne of quiet betrayal. And while the world worships their picture-perfect life, some insiders claim Georgina's biggest fear is not another woman, but the truth itself. The truth that not all of Ronaldo's children came from her. The truth that some never will. And the question that burns like gasoline at the heart of this golden family: if they ever split, who do these children truly belong to? The mother who bore them, or the woman who raised them for the world to see? The walls of Ronaldo's mansions have heard more secrets than any stadium ever will. On the outside, every corner of his empire glitters with trophies, gold boots, and photos of laughing children draped in luxury brands. But behind the polished marble and velvet curtains, there's a silence that's louder than any roar from the crowds he once commanded. It was never just about love, not for Ronaldo, not for Georgina. Some people inside his circle say that every decision he's ever made, even about his children, has always been a game plan. When he first held Cristiano Jr. in his arms, he vowed the boy would never be dragged through scandals of paternity tests or media hounds sniffing for a mother's name. Ronaldo built a fortress around his firstborn, a fortress so high that not even Georgina could climb over it completely. Some say that's the crack in their perfect castle. No matter how many times Junior calls her mama, she knows somewhere deep inside that she didn't give him life. And Ronaldo knows it too. Then came the twins, Eva and Matteo, born to another surrogate mother far from the glitz of Europe. The official story was that Ronaldo wanted to expand his legacy, to give junior siblings, to build the big family he always dreamed of. But the unofficial story, whispered among staff and hidden in leaked texts that never made headlines, suggests it was never Georgina's decision. Some say she wept behind closed doors when she learned she wouldn't carry them herself. Others claim she agreed, just to keep her place beside the king. And then there's Alana Martina, the one child who truly ties Georgina to Ronaldo's bloodline. The child who was meant to silence the rumors, close the gaps, bind them together, as a real family in the eyes of millions. But even Alana's birth couldn't wash away the silent divide between Georgina and the rest. Junior, Eva, and Matteo remain reminders of choices she didn't make, choices she must pretend to own every time the cameras click. Insiders who once worked for Ronaldo speak of cold arguments behind locked doors, about inheritance, about who the real mother is, about who will decide the children's future if the fairy tale shatters. They say Georgina wants her own blood to rule Ronaldo's fortune one day. But the shadows of surrogacy and hidden contracts stand in her way. A king as cautious as Ronaldo doesn't build an empire without exit doors, even for love. And when the lights go off, and the world stops watching, Georgina is said to sit in those endless hallways, wondering, did she win him, or did she just win a role in the world's biggest lie? Because deep down, the children she dresses in designer clothes, the children she kisses for the press, not all of them came from her. And if tomorrow, this house of cards collapses, what will she really be left holding? A lover's loyalty, or just a surname she can't claim as her own? Outside, the world still scrolls through their perfect Instagram life. The fans still comment, goals. But behind every photo, behind every forced family vacation, one question stays alive like a ghost rattling the gates of Ronaldo's legacy. Who really owns these children? The man who bought their privacy, or the woman who wears their story like borrowed silk? They say every empire falls, not from enemies at the gates, but from secrets rotting its foundations. And as Ronaldo's million-dollar smile beams through endorsements and interviews, somewhere inside him, a doubt grows like a crack on a trophy. He watches his children play in the garden, Junior trying to outrun his shadow, Eva and Matteo giggling like they've never heard a whisper of scandal, Alana clinging to Georgina's side as if her tiny arms could hold the family together forever. But deep down, Ronaldo knows empires built on silence don't last forever. Whispers have a way of turning into storms. Rumors grow legs, old secrets dig out of shallow graves. Those who once stayed loyal might one day sell a story for a price higher than loyalty can pay. A disgruntled maid, an old friend with a grudge, a lawyer who knows too much. It only takes one slip for the world to see what Ronaldo has hidden for so long. Some say Georgina's biggest nightmare isn't losing Ronaldo's love, it's losing the children she calls hers in public but knows she never birthed in private. If tomorrow brings a breakup, if love turns cold as the marble floors, she walks barefoot every night, who gets to keep the children? Does the boy who looks like Ronaldo's twin belong to the faceless mother hidden by an iron contract, or to the woman who taught him to tie his shoes and pose for cameras? It's not just about love anymore, it's about power, about legacy, about a fortune that could build kingdoms for generations to come. Georgina's enemies, silent now, watch her every move, waiting for a crack in her perfect life. One scandal, one slip, and they'd remind the world that Georgina didn't give Ronaldo his first heir, or his second, or his third. They'd remind her that in this palace of trophies, her blood only runs through one small child, the only piece of undeniable proof that she was ever more than a beautiful guest in the king's story. But what makes this tragedy even crueler is that the children know nothing of it. To them, Georgina is mama warm arms at bedtime, a soft voice in the dark. To them, there are no contracts, no faceless mothers, no hidden bank transfers that silenced the truth before they could speak it. They just see the woman who stands beside their father and pretends that fairy tales can survive in marble mansions. And so this secret lives on. A time bomb in designer clothes. If it ever explodes, it won't just destroy Ronaldo's perfect brand. It'll tear open a wound no trophy can cover. A father forced to prove he owns the family he built. A woman forced to face the world with a truth she tried to bury under hashtags and luxury yachts. And innocent children forced to choose the truth of blood, or the comfort of a lie. Because, in the end, no matter how many goals Ronaldo scores, how many records he breaks, or how many smiles Georgina posts, one truth will keep whispering through those golden corridors. Not all of Ronaldo's children belong to her, and not all secrets can stay hidden forever.